What's up, guys? Justin here with a rather large pickup video for you guys today. I got stuff from pretty much everywhere in this video. Some thrift store stuff, a couple eBay purchases, a couple Craigslist deals, even a Gamestop find actually. And I've done quite a few trades recently with some other YouTubers, so I'll definitely show that stuff in this video as well. Really the only stuff I don't have is garage sale pickups. We actually didn't go out to the garage sales last weekend. Of course, Friday morning was the morning after the 4th of July, so there really wasn't anything going on, and I was out of town for Saturday. But I'm going to get right into what I got here. Got a ton of stuff to show you guys. I'm going to start it with the trades that I've done recently. Now, I'll put all the links that I have for these channels down in the description. A couple of these deals that were worked out over our Facebook page, so I don't have like YouTube links or anything. But if you see your package in this video and you'd like your link down in the description, just hit me up and I'll put it down there ASAP for you. But this first trade comes from a YouTuber by the name of Paladin of Darkness 323. We ended up working out a deal for a complete copy of Super Smash Bros. Melee, and looks to be in pretty nice shape. And actually, he was nice enough to throw in this game as an extra, a copy of Pokemon Gold. And he did mention that the save battery was dead, but that's no problem. I can easily replace that, so I definitely appreciate the extra, man. Thank you so much for the trade. Moving on to the next trade, this one comes from GFan2012, and he had seen in one of our previous videos that I found that loose disc Zelda Ocarina of Time for the GameCube in a system that I'd picked up from the St. Vinny's, I believe, and he had hit me up and let me know that he actually had an extra case and manual for it, which was awesome. This is definitely one I'm very, very happy to complete. I've actually already put my disc in there, so it is complete now. I'm just looking out for Zelda Collector's Edition, I think, on the GameCube. That's really the last one I need. Of course, I don't have like the Wind Waker Metroid Prime combo or anything like that, but I was very happy to get this case and manual. It's in very nice shape. And actually, he sent me a stack of manuals as well with that case. I'll go through these quickly here. We got Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. We got a Atari catalog. Miss Pac-Man for the Super Nintendo. Got a Donkey Kong Country, T2 the arcade game. And some N64 ones here. Mortal Kombat 4, this is actually one I'm still looking for the cartridge for my collection. I got Donkey Kong 64, Super Smash Bros., Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero, and finally Star Fox 64. So thank you very much for the manuals and the case for the Zelda. I'm sure we'll be working out another trade in the future. Moving on to the next trade here, this one comes from Zero Blue Ox here on YouTube, and ended up getting an NES game that I've been looking for quite some time now. It completed my trilogy, I believe, on the NES, and that is Adventure Island 3. And this one's a little bit harder to find. I've never personally seen it myself. I think it was a later release, judging from the sticker on the back there, but I already had Adventure Island 1 and 2, so I was very happy to get this one in really, really nice condition. I was very happy with this. And this one was kind of a cash trade combo. I threw in a little bit of cash and also got myself Mega Man 4. So great to have a double of this one. I think Ryan's brother was inquiring about this one, so I'll see if he wants this one. And then also part of that deal was a Zelda 4 Swords for the Game Boy Advance, and that one actually came in this 3-game case, and also had the manual with it as well, which is very cool. And as an extra, it's nice enough to throw in a copy of Panzer General for the PS1, and I believe this one was complete. Yep, looks complete and in very, very nice shape. This is one I still need for my PS1 collection, so thank you very much for the extra, man. Definitely appreciate it. And moving on to the last two trades. Now, these ones were worked out over our Facebook page, so I don't have links for these ones, but again, if this is your package and you'd like your link in the description, just hit me up and I'll put it down there for you. But I worked out a deal for a copy of Super Mario Sunshine for the GameCube, and this one was complete and in very nice shape. And as an extra with this one, I also got a copy of Road Rash on the Game Boy. Now, he had mentioned that he couldn't get this one working. I haven't actually tried it myself yet, but I'm going to clean it up and take it apart if I have to. And hopefully I can get this one working. This is one I still need for my Game Boy collection. So thank you very much for that trade. And then this last one here actually wasn't a trade. This was more of a donation. Someone had seen in one of our previous videos that I picked up that loose copy of Ren and Stimpy Show Stimpy's Invention from the Goodwill. And it was one of those purchases that it was loose cartridge for $1.99. I was kind of regretting the purchase, but he had hit me up and let me know that he actually had an extra case and manual for the game, and he was nice enough to just send it to me as a donation. So now I have it complete. I already put my cartridge in there, so that was awesome to complete this one. Went from kind of a buyer's remorse kind of purchase to being very happy to have the game complete. So thank you very, very much for that. So I'll move on next to a couple eBay purchases, actually, and this first one completes a trilogy for me on the DS. I think I paid $14 and some change for it, plus shipping, but it was under $20 total, which is what I was willing to pay for it. It's Rune Factory 2, and this one came complete and in very nice shape. Like I said, I already had the first one and the third one, so I was very happy to complete this trilogy. It's honestly not a game that I'm probably going to play through to its entirety, but Fantasy Harvest Moon games, I mean, that's right up my alley, so I was very happy to get this one. And this next one here is actually a PS1 game that I owned loose disc a while back, and I sold that one off and told myself that I put the money towards a complete copy of the game. And I've been searching for one. This one popped up for a buy it now, $12.99, which I thought was a steal. And that's God Bless the Ring, or Urgeis, or Urgees. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it, but it's a SquareSoft game. I believe it's a fighting game, but it has like Final Fantasy characters and stuff. And I've seen it go, upwards of $25, $30. So for $12.99 for a complete black label in a nice shape, I thought that was a great, great price. Very happy to get that one. And I'll move on next to the one GameStop find that I had. Now I went in there just looking through their Wii and their DS games and stuff, and I noticed that they had some complete PS2 games there, which I thought was odd. They got rid of all their PS2 cases and stuff, and they're just selling all the discs loose. But they had a couple copies of San Andreas there. Then they had this one for $19.99. It's Monster Rancher 4. And this one was complete and in pretty nice shape, and I knew this was at least a $35, $40 game. So for $19.99, that was a no-brainer on that one, especially from GameStop. I thought that was an awesome find. So I'll move on to some thrift store pickups. These first two actually come from our local St. Vincent de Paul, and this first one's probably the oldest pickup in this video now. I got this probably a couple weeks ago, but it's Shrek Treasure Hunt for the PS1. I just saw this sitting there with a bunch of sports games. It was only like $1.50. I mean, it was complete and in nice shape, so I picked that one up for the collection. And then I went back to the Vinnies like at least a week later and saw that they had a bunch of brand new but third-party AV cords for various systems. They had like some N64 ones, like some PS2 ones, a GameCube one, and it was funny because the price tag on them showed that they were all from that game store downtown that went out of business like a couple years ago now, and I ended up buying most of what she had. We actually ended up at her garage sale a couple weekends ago, but I guess she finally gave up and just donated everything else that she had to the Vinnies. But I did pick up one of the cords which I thought was pretty intriguing. It's a Monster brand GameCube cord. And I saw this sitting there. I knew that Monster, was a very reputable brand and everything, so I quickly looked it up on my phone and saw this cord selling for like $40 to $60. And I was just blown away because it's not even like the HD cord. Nintendo made the official HD cord that sells for like probably over $100 now online. But this is just like a composite and S-video cord. So I have no idea why it goes for so much money. If anyone knows, let me know. Like I said, obviously Monster is a very reputable brand, but $40 to $60 just blew me away. It was only like $2.50, so I was like, hell yeah, I'm definitely picking that up. So these next games here actually come from the Goodwill. I went in there the other day and noticed that they put out a bunch of original Xbox and PS2 games, and of course there was a lot of sports games, some cheaper ones, but there's actually a few pretty good ones in there as well. I ended up picking up Oddworld Stranger's Wrath. And this one looked like just like a pretty legit game to me. I mean, it was complete and in very nice shape. Obviously, I've heard of the Oddworld series before. I've never really played too many of them, but this one looks pretty cool. And I saw this one sitting there, and my first thought was that it was Shenmue 2. But upon further inspection, I realized that it was actually Siberia 2. And I had never heard of this game before, but I mean, it was complete and in really nice shape. It looks like a Shenmue type game. I mean, kind of just like a wander around and do whatever the hell you want kind of game. The graphics on the back look incredible for an Xbox game. And I guess they made Siberia 1 on the Xbox as well. I'd never seen them before. It was very cool to pick up that one. And then I picked up another copy of Jade Empire. This is one I picked up in that insane haul that we had from the Goodwill, one of our last videos, but I couldn't pass up another one there for $4. And then this last one here is easily the best one. This is a game that I've gotten a lot of questions about recently as to why it's worth so much money, and I honestly could not tell you, but it's Star Wars Battlefront 2 for the original Xbox. This one is complete and black label in very nice shape. And again, I have no idea why this game goes for the $40 or $40+ that it does when the PS2 one. I mean, I have at least 3, probably 4 copies of Battlefront 2 on the PS2 sitting over there. That that game's just dirt cheap. So if anyone knows why this game goes for so much money, definitely let me know. I know I would like to know, and I'm sure many others would like to know as well. And then also there on that same day, completely random, they had one N64 game. I saw it sitting there like this, and I was like, please let that be Donkey Kong 64 and not Tony Hawk 2. I turned it around, and sure enough, it was Donkey Kong 64. So this was $1.99, and they sell the Xbox games for $3.99, I believe. I had no problem paying $4 for any of these. So I was very happy with that trip to the Goodwill. So the last couple of things I have to show for this video are actually a couple of Craigslist deals that I did, one of which was actually more of a trade than a Craigslist deal, and the other one has kind of an interesting story to go along with it. So I'll start out with the trade that I did first. Someone had called me in response to the Craigslist ad that we have posted and told me that they had, a few systems and a handful of games that they were looking to trade. And he told me that all he wanted in return was 2 working Sega Genesis controllers. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, I can dig up 2 Genesis controllers for you, no problem. And then eventually, he was like, okay, well, maybe can you throw in a few games or whatever. And he told me what systems he had. And I ended up trading them just like a small stack of random games. I don't even remember what they were off the top of my head. I think there was a Jack and Daxter game for the PS2, a Sly Cooper game, a copy of like Counter Force for the Wii, and there was like Metal Gear Solid for the PS1, Crash Bandicoot for the PS1, and then just those 2 Genesis controllers. And for that, I got all of this, which I'm about to show you. Once again, I don't know why he was willing to trade all this for just that stuff, but he was more than happy to do it, so I wasn't going to turn it down. I've got a couple NES games here, Fester's Quest and Disney's Adventures in the Magic Kingdom. Also got a Super Game Boy that looks like it was buried underground for some significant portion of time. Actually, some of these systems too, when he handed them to me, obviously I was getting a great deal, so I wasn't going to say anything, but it literally looked like he had them underground and then dug them up before he came to meet me for this deal. But we also got some Genesis games in here. All these are loose cartridge, but we got Barkley Shut Up and Jam, Bram Stoker's Dracula, The Page Master, Family Feud, and The Lion King. And then this was kind of random, just some Logitech. I believe this is an Xbox controller. I don't know if the receiver's in here or not, but then we got some systems. Actually, he had 2 N64 systems, and neither of these have expansion packs, just jumper packs in there, which is fine. I think one of those, actually no, he had the power cord for both of those, actually just no AV cord. He also had an NES system, and again, look at the top of that system. It's just incredibly filthy, but it should clean up pretty well. I haven't tested this yet. I don't know how the pins are and everything, but I decided to just take a chance on it. And that one came with, he had one controller for it, and he had a coaxial, and, oh god, one of these retro-bit AC adapters that have like the dual ends on them. Literally, this thing weighs absolutely nothing. You can tell it doesn't work. I'm probably not even going to try it, honestly. Oh, here's the, there's a receiver for that Xbox controller. And then he had a Super Nintendo, which again, very dirty, but, not in bad shape by any means. Oh, it's got one chip on the corner up there. It's a little bit yellow and stuff, but, the plastic piece is still in the AC port and everything. So, all that for, a couple Sega Genesis controllers and a few games that I've just been sitting on forever. Ended up being a great deal for me. Alright, so this last Craigslist deal here was actually one that I picked up while I was out of town. This is one I've been trying to work out for a while now. The guy had originally responded to our Craigslist ad through an email and told me he had, a stack of systems he wanted to sell. He was asking like $40 for them and stuff, which I probably was willing to pay, but he told me he lived me like 2 hours away from me, so I was like, alright, well, realistically it's not going to happen, but I actually ended up being up that way anyway last Saturday, so I ended up meeting up with him while I was up there. And it was funny because, like I said, he had wanted $40 for everything originally. When I met up with him, I put all the stuff in my car, I asked him how much he wanted for everything, and he told me he would be more than happy to get $15. So I was more than happy to pay $15 for this stuff here. We got another N64 system, this one in much better shape. I don't believe this one has the, no expansion pack, but just a jumper pack. And the other thing wrong with this one is it looks like it has like some rust on the bottom of it. I'm sure that won't affect the gameplay or anything. It does have actually one chip in the back here, but again, I wasn't going to complain for $15. I also got another Super Nintendo. This one much whiter than the other one, and this one's in better shape too. I don't think there's any cracks or anything, and one small chip on the back corner. But once again, plastic piece in the AC port there. And then he had a PS2 FAT system here, which I did already test this one. This one does work for sure. It actually had a copy of Vice City in the system as well. It's pretty scratched up though, so I'm not sure if it's going to play, but still an added bonus there. And he had one PS2 controller, a blue one, and then finally, originally he told me he had a Game Boy Color, and when he was on the way to meet up with me, he told me he couldn't find the Game Boy Color, so instead he brought this, which is not really ideal. It's a Game Boy Advance, but it is beat to hell. I mean, no battery cover, and it's all scratched up and stuff. But he was willing to just throw it in for the 15 bucks, so I wasn't going to turn it down. But yeah, I mean, $15 for that for 4 systems. I doubt this one works, but so 3 systems. I mean, still $15. That was a hell of a deal. But anyway, I believe that was all I have to show for this video. I'm hoping it didn't get too long, and I'll probably have some garage sale pickups for you guys next time. So I want to thank you guys for sticking around and checking out this video, and until next time, take care.